Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are having a creative day. In this video, I will show you how to create a beautiful mega menu in Wix Studio. I will teach you how to create different types of layouts, along with some tips and tricks that will be really helpful for creating a responsive design for your mega menu. So without further delay, let's get started. First off, I'm going to add an empty section where I will design my mega menu. Let's resize it. Go to your add elements. Now you can either add a pre-designed menu from menu and search. The horizontal menu here will be the best for the mega menu. Alternatively, you can start from scratch from the quick add bar. I personally prefer quick add because it loads the default fonts and colors of my website, so that makes the work simple. The second thing I'm going to do is either set the style to paragraph 1, or you can simply change the font size here as well. Either one is cool. Now to create the mega menu, you have to go to the manage menu here. Now you can either create a new menu. So go to the manage site menu here, and you can add a new menu where you can design a brand new menu for your website. For example, I have set a new menu for my policies and one for my main site menu. The policy menu goes at the very bottom of my website, which is right here. Okay, so you can create different menu for your website, which is really cool. Anyway, I'm gonna use the main menu for this one. Let's add a new item. To add the mega menu, you have to select the drop down here. Before it was called mega menu, but now in the updated version of the menu, it is called drop down. The drop down is where you will design your mega menu. Before we do that, a very important thing. The mega menu does not work in the vertical menus, all right? So if you go to the layout here, and if you change the orientation to vertical, the mega menu will not work anymore. So if you go to the manage menu now, you will see that there is no option to edit this drop down the mega menu. Okay, you can only add the items inside, below this. But if you change it back to horizontal, and now if you go to the manage menu, you will see that we now have the edit option. Okay, so only the horizontal menu will show the mega menu, your website. Now, this is where you will add all your design element. This container will hold all your mega menu items. But you have noticed that the size of this container is really small. So to fix that, we will go back to the setting of this menu. From here, select the drop down container. Let me select my mouse highlight. Okay, much better. So you have to go to the drop down container here, and from the responsive behavior, select stretch. And what it does is that it stretches your entire menu across the width of your section or your cell, and you will have much more space. Finally, you can see that the space between these elements is too much. So to fix that, you can go to the layout and select the alignment to left or right or center instead of justify. Okay, so now we have the accurate design for the menu item, and if you go to the container, you have the full width here as well. Okay, now we are ready to design the mega menu for our website. You have two options here. The first one is to either divide this entire container into a complex rows and columns, and this is good when you want to create a unique design for each of your elements. But if you want to repeat the design, the much better option would be to use the repeater. We are going to use both of them. So first off, I'm going to divide this into a 2 by 1. Okay, so we have two columns and one row. Alternatively, you can also make more complex design by going to others, and you can add the columns here and rows here and click on apply. It will give you the same effect. The next thing I'm going to do is go to the design here, And in the column, you can assign the width. So you can either drag and drop here like this, or you can set it from here as well. You can also change the scale from here. Now we are going to add two columns, two repeaters, one in this one and one in this one. So go to add elements, layout tools, and repeaters. So for this one, I'm going to add a list like this. Now, when you add the element, you will have one more option here, the location in grid cells. Okay. So if I stretch it like this, you will see that it stretches across the entire section. We don't want that. We only want to limit this into the first cell. To do this, all you have to do is select the cell from here. And now this repeater is bound to the first cell. And if you stretch it, it will be bounded by this line right here. Okay, so this is only in the first grid cell. Similarly, you can select the second repeater here, and just like that, you can assign this one to second cell, grid cell, and stretch it like this. Okay, and finally, I'm going to create a space between these two. So select the drop down container, and here we have the gap. So let's set it to 10 pixel, and now we have a gap between these two repeaters. All right, now let's design these two cells. First off, let's add some, let's say, product category into this repeater item. So I'm going to go to the text first, and let's add a heading 4. From the size, let's set it to 100%. Alignment to left and horizontal center. Or let's add one more element. So set its font size, let's set it to 32. And let's add one more text for the link. And responsive behavior to hug. Next up, I'm going to stack these two elements together to make the design responsive. So hold shift and select both these elements and stack them together. Create a space, 5 pixel, and align it like this. All right. So right here, I will add, let's say, product category. So this is a pet store website. So let's add something related to that. All right. Let's also change the background of the repeater items to make it more accessible. And let's change the background of this text as well, the font size. Let's also change the font color of this one, make it bold maybe. Let's try to change the design a bit, make it more unique. All right. Now let's work on this repeater. The first thing I'm going to do is go to the number of items and set it 4 and add one more item. And furthermore, this is another tip for you. You can divide this repeater item into advanced CSS grid, and then you can further add the columns and rows. So what I'm going to do is I will add a row here. So go to rows and add a row below. Okay, so now we have 2 rows inside this repeater item, and this will help you make your design responsive. Now let's design this repeater item. First thing I'm going to do is add an image like this. And once again, you have to assign a grid cell like this and stretch it. Now, what I want is I want to stretch this image across both the grid cells. To do that, you have to hold Shift and select both these grid cells right here. So hold Shift and select both of them. And now this image covered the entire repeater item. Next up, I'm going to add text. So let's add a text here like this. And let's set its responsive behavior to hug as well. And font size, let's set it to 28. If you want to change the size of cells, you can easily do that by going to the layout here, select the item, go to rows, and right here you can set the minimum and maximum and different scale actually. So you can decide right here. Okay, now let's change the images and the text. All right, the text is not that visible, so I'm gonna set the highlight first, like this, and change the color like this. Okay, so now we have the design here as well. Now let's look at the preview real quick and see if we have to fix anything. Right, so one thing I don't like is the background here, and we also have to make sure that it covers the entirety of the screen. So let's fix that. First off, click on Done here, go to the Layout, Inspector panel, and select the drop-down container. Let's make the background solid. Also, select the entire section here and remove the Apply Max Width. Right, now we have the entire width here and a solid color as well. This is much better. Let's increase the font size a bit, and also let's add some animations. Let's make the menu more interesting. So go back here, click on Edit. Let's increase the font size. Let's add some animations. So first off, I'm gonna select the image. Let's add shutters like this, and let's add some delay because sometimes you might miss the animation. So a delay would be much better. 2 seconds is good. Um, let's also add a hover animation. So select the entire item like this. You only have to set the animation for one item. Whatever you do for this one will automatically apply to all the items. So don't worry about that. Go to hover, add, and let's add the animation to the text instead of the image. Let's add the fade. Okay, so fade in is the animation here, which is good as well. Let's also add the animation to this item here. So let's add the entrance to slide from the left side. Again, some delay. And let's add an animation to this text here on hover. Go to hover, add, and select the text. So select the text, this one right here, and let's add move animation. Go to adjust animation and set the angle to 90 degrees. All right. Finally, let's add the link to this text. You can also use the button. It's totally up to you. So let's choose the product category All right, so this is the design. Now let's look at the preview and see the animations. All right, so we have the animations right here and right here. Okay, but remember that the entrance animation will only be played once when you load the page. So you can go to any link here. All right, right now you won't see the header on every page because this is not technically a header yet. I'm going to show you how to convert this into header, but this is not a header right now. This is just a normal section with a mega menu. But yeah, this is how you can create mega menu. You can search for design inspiration online and practically add any element you want in your container and design complex mega menus however you want. But yeah, this is it for this video. I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching.